Hello students, I am your computer teacher present before you all to discuss on the next topic, that is CPU. So first of all I want to ask the question, what is CPU? Its full form is Central Processing Unit. It is also called the brain of the computer. It is also known as the processor, which is the brain of the computer. It receives the user instruction from the connected input devices, processes it and sends processed data to the appropriate components and output devices. What it does? It first accepts the data from the input devices and processes it. It takes some logical decision, it can take some logical decision also, or it can do some arithmetic problem, and after the processing of data it sends it to the output device, okay, for the display of the result. There are mainly three components of a CPU. What are those? Memory unit, arithmetic and logic unit, that is called ALU, and control unit. There are mainly three components of a CPU. So without a CPU, a computer cannot work. It cannot do any calculation because it is also called the brain of the computer. So without brain, computer will not work. It is a very important part of the computer. Now I will show you the diagram of a CPU, how CPU look like. This is the picture of a CPU. This is your motherboard. I have already told you a green color board, but it is something looking like green color. Okay, some motherboard also looks like gray, some are green. Okay, so here is the CPU socket on which a processor is placed. Okay, when we start the computer, after some times the processor becomes hot. So there we apply a cooling paste on the surface of the processor so that it becomes cool, okay, and a heat sink is also placed on it for the cooling of the processor, and the heat sink is attached with a fan which helps in cooling, okay. Because if we don't cool the processor, then it can damage the CPU, okay, and it can harm the motherboard. Look here, this is the RAM slot. In this slot RAM is placed on it, okay. RAM is inserted in this slot. This is the CPU socket. Processor is inserted in this socket, and there are many components which is attached to the motherboard, okay.